Hello guys, today is 6th of March and happy dentist day to you all. So today we have one of the celebrity dentists of our country on our channel, Dr. Sagar Abhichandani. Those who will be hearing him for the first time, a brief intro of Dr. Sagar. Dr. Sagar has done his BDS from D.Y. Patil Dental College, his MTS from SDM Dharwad in prosthetic dentistry, crown and bridge and implantology, and also done MSc and MS and so many courses in abroad as well. Apart from this, he is providing continuous education to dental students across the country by conducting webinars, courses and CD programs. So I'm really happy and I'm feeling honored to welcome him on our channel. But guys, this interview video is a bit long for you, almost a 40 minutes or so. And I know that according to the attention span of humans in 2021, so here I'll be sharing a timestamp of the whole video interview, okay? So even if you want to see a particular part of this interview, you can just go to that timestamp and watch that much part of this video. I hope this video, this attempt of mine serves the purpose. I have tried my best to make this dentist day fruitful, meaningful and full of passion for you all. So please leave your comments in the comment section below that how you found this interview. What are your views and what do you feel about whatever Dr. Sagar and myself have shared in this video. And don't forget to share it with your dental buddies. And अगर चैनल को अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है, then do it now because I'm gonna bring the content which will be most helpful to you all. Happy National Dentist Day, sir, and welcome to my channel.
Completely my pleasure, my dear. Good to see you.
Yes, sir. Same here. Same here. I hope this talk and this video could inspire and motivate many dental students to, passionately pursue their career.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
I hope everybody becomes better than me. Then I would say that yes, the next generation is definitely taking Indian dentistry forward.
Yes, sir. So, sir, let's begin by hearing your story. That how your journey in dentistry have been so far, from the BDS till now becoming a successful dentist, international speaker. So how your journey is, we all are excited to know it.
Journey has been pretty straightforward because when I was in my 12th standard, that is 10 plus 2, I was very clear that I need to get into MBBS.
Okay.
And I was getting a chance to get into homeopathy. I was getting a chance to get into Ayurveda, dentistry, but not MBBS.
Okay.
So there was this dilemma that should I get into dentistry or should I prepare for next year? So there were many people who suggested dentistry is good. I was inspired by my dentist as well. Said, why don't you become a dentist? I said, okay. If my dentist is telling, why don't you become a dentist? So I should get into it. Ultimately, I will get the DR in any of the above prescribed formats. I said, okay, let's go in for it. Then initially, when I got into dentistry, the initial days of preclinical work where we were mixing stone, mixing plaster. So I used to wonder, am I in the right profession? I thought dentistry is all about teeth. And here I am working like a mason, working like somebody who is doing construction work. Those also use plaster, they also use stone, and I'm also using plaster, I'm also using stone. I think I'm in the wrong profession. This is not meant for me. But then I was somebody who loves to speak. That habit has not changed. I still speak a lot. See, you asked me one question and I'm still talking, which means I speak a lot.
But it is always,
So then I used to take part in debates, all of these cultural, literary events. So one of my teachers, again, she is one of the legends in prosthodontics, Dr. Sabita Ram. She told me, you speak so well. Why don't you use all of that energy into dentistry? I said, I don't like dentistry. I don't like mixing plaster and all. That's not what I joined in for. She said, at least do one thing. You don't like this subject, dental materials. Let's have a presentation on dental materials. So she gave me a topic, study properly, and then present in front of the class. Now, because it was an assignment, I said, okay, I will do it. That is where I realized that you can study things in a different way. Because when you study to write in an exam, it's different. When you study to explain it to someone else, you need to understand it yourself.
Yes. First, you have to teach yourself, then you can teach others.
Exactly. So when you understand, it's only then when you can make others understand.
Yes.
And that changed my perspective a bit. So that was my first intra class presentation where I am teaching my own class.
Okay.
That changed my thought process. Then we had this inter class competition, paper presentation, poster presentation. So again, Dr. Savita Ram, she pushed me that you should take part in this also. But I already had a hang of how to talk dentistry. So that's how the interest started. So when I used to read, when I used to understand the topic, I always used to read from the perspective of teaching others from the first BDS days. So that is where the understanding became a lot more concrete. And then once the topic was understood, touchwood, by God's grace, the topics are still pretty fresh in my mind. So that's what I think started the journey of loving dentistry. Today, I proudly say that I'm a proud dentist. Dentistry is my passion, dentistry is my love. But that started from my first BDS days, where I actually understood how to make others understand.
Okay.
Then, of course, the intra class became interclass, interclass became intercollegiate, intercollegiate became state level, state became national level, national became Asia Pacific, Asia Pacific became Pan Asia. Then,
Amazing.
then things just took off. Then it was clinical, clinical with research, clinical research, education, and then God was kind.
Oh.
And then things
But
just
yes, God was
things
kind
just took
and
off.
your hard work, sir.
Yeah, see, I would like to say that everybody does hard work.
Hmm.
If you go outside on the road, there is a laborer who's working more hard than me. He's working harder. But then what happens is his blessings are equally important. Many a
Definitely.
times you do your best and then you leave the rest to him.
Hmm.
So
Correct.
that leaving the rest to him also has to be good enough in his eyes to bless you. And
Correct.
then good work looks great.
Here
And
is a
decent work.
big message for you all. Those who are listening to this is a big message. Even for me
So
as well, sir.
I was always believe that there is a superpower which works where your efforts end.
Hmm.
So always believe in him. I did not have a roadmap that I should do this. Next step has to be this. Next step has to be that. No, it just happened. I went with the flow, but I never looked back.
Hmm.
Because what happens is many a times when you look back and say, "Oh my God, I've achieved so much. I've done so much." No, and that's where the complacency starts to come in. Never. I always look for tomorrow. If this is where I am, I need to be here tomorrow. If this is where I am tomorrow, I need to better myself and be day after. So there always has to be a growth. You can never say that, whoa, I've done it, I've achieved it, over. That's where your downfall starts. And that's where you start becoming extinct.
Correct, correct.
So you should always
Becoming
better
better
yourself.
version of yourself each day.
Every day you need to be
Yeah,
bettering yourself.
yes,
That has to be the goal.
correct. So now, sir, we'll take up questions from my audience.
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
So the first question is, there are so many dental clinic and so much unemployment. So how to cope up with that?
Okay. There are 1.3 billion people in India, right?
Yeah.
So people stop giving birth to babies? No. So 1.3 billion will have their own future, right?
Yes.
God helps
Absolutely.
those who help themselves. So stop looking left, stop looking right, stop looking in front, stop looking behind. Look within. What are your skills? What are your capabilities? What are your strengths? And what are your weaknesses? And when you are good, whether the person next to you is good, bad, average, it doesn't matter. So I always tell people at all the forums, compete with yourself, just with yourself.
Hmm.
And as you rightly mentioned, you need to better yourself.
Yes.
You need to become a better version of yourself. That is exactly what you are. So
Yes.
don't think about so many clinics who are there. Whatever they do is their skills, their knowledge. You become good enough that when you are setting up your own practice, there is a word which spreads that he's here, he's here, and people will wait to come to you. There is again this myth that you need to be in a metropolitan, you need to be in this type of place, in this place. So nothing matters. If you are good, people will fly down 18 hours and take a flight and come to you. If you are good,
True, sir.
that is what matters.
This is
There are
because
people
I
who
think
fly down from different parts of the world to get their work done from us. That used to happen pre-COVID days. So that doesn't mean if I'm not sitting in New York or if I'm not sitting in London, I'm not getting patients from those cities. Skills, your knowledge, your competence levels needs to be sky high. So work on yourself. Whether there's a clinic next door or in the premises, it doesn't matter. You matter. Your skills matter. Focus on only that aspect where you can better yourself.
correct, sir. And the next question is, I cannot get government MDS seat. There are no government jobs. I'm a fresh BDS. So now what to do?
Why everybody talks about jobs? Jobs.
So maybe the
Now,
financial condition is not that much sound to open a
no,
clinic.
see, what I would give you a very simple example. Now we all are experienced enough to understand that there's a government sector, there's a private sector. Let's take an example of a bank. There's a bank which is like a PSU, and there's a private bank. Have you seen the kind of employees we have?
Yes, sir.
People who are punctual, people who are sincere. We have seen in both the sectors. Who is punctual? People just want to get into something and stay put. They become lethargic. They want pension to keep coming. If that is the mindset, there's no growth. Let's be clear on that. Government
Agree.
seats. People who are falling into different categories, who are not into the general category, will anyways have a preference on that. People who are in general category also get into government seats. People who are into general category get into private seats. But at the end of the day, when you finish BDS, based on the skills, based on the knowledge, based on your handwork, there is a great chance that there are two people from the same college, underwent the same degree, by the same teacher, but their skill set is not the same. Their knowledge is not the same. Which means a person from a government college can be less than average in terms of what he is doing in dentistry. And another person from a government college can be really good in terms of his skills, knowledge, and competence. Isn't the same
So
valid for somebody
subjective thing,
coming?
yes.
Isn't the same thing valid for somebody from a private setup also, from a private college also? Of course.
Definitely, yes, sir.
So you might do 100 patients in a government college, 50 patients in a private college. But if you don't want to learn, if you don't want to master your skills, if you don't want to become the next big thing, where you have passed out from becomes immaterial. Because even if 100 patients are given to you and you have not learned what you should have learned, those 100 patients become futile.
Yeah.
Or on the other hand, when you have 50 patients in a private college, you have picked up the skill, you have gone wrong and learned from your mistakes, so that when you get into your setup, whether it's a private college, a private hospital, a private clinic, you know how to handle the case. You will deliver a good result. Patient will be happy for himself and will refer the patient to you. So if you are a good practitioner, that is what matters. Irrespective of whether you are coming from a government college or you're coming from a private college. It's a mindset.
It's a mindset, yes.
If you want to be good, parameters XYZ don't matter, you matter.
Correct.
So people blame, I am not good, I couldn't learn because patients were not there.
Hmm.
I did not get my hands-on training because adequate number of patients were not there. How many ever patients you had, did you do justice to them? Did you learn everything correctly? Do you know where you can go wrong? Did you take help from the person who is good in that profession? If the answer for all of that is yes, you did your best. But if the answer to all of that is no, you were not justified in blaming a private setup for an XYZ reason.
Correct.
I
This
have seen
sincerity really
amazing people. I have seen amazing people from private colleges, and I have seen shoddy people even from government colleges. So this mindset that because I am from a private college, I should be a little inferior compared to a government college is just in the mind. It absolutely has no relevance when it comes to competing outside in the real world. Because a patient is not going to see whether you are BDS Bombay or you are BDS Delhi. Nobody's going to see. At the end of the day, you are a BDS graduate from a dental college in India.
correct.
And what you deliver when the patient is on the dental chair is what matters,
Yes.
not where you have graduated from.
I
Remember
hope,
this.
yes, I hope this talk changes the mindset of the viewers. I think
It's
this
all in the mind. It's
sincerity
all in the mind.
which you talked about is completely lacking, because I also see the interns and graduates working, doing patients, but this kind of sincerity is completely lacking into them.
In so many people I come across, they feel that in final year they have worked so much that they deserve 1 year break in internship. So they feel 1 year internship is to become stress free,
Hmm.
detox, relax, enjoy, take it easy, etc. etc. There are so many synonyms to that.
Hmm.
But they forget that's the only 1 year which they have where they can
Absolutely.
master their practical skills under supervision and under guidance.
Hmm. Correct.
Because if they lose that 1 year, when they get into practice later, any mistakes they do will be highlighted. As the people are talking about jobs, who's going to keep such people?
Hmm.
If 1 year they have only whiled away time, and when it comes to doing a case independently in your practice or anyone else's practice or in a job or in a private setup, they screw up, they mess up. And nobody is forgiving there because the time to learn under supervision was gone. Taking photos, taking selfies, playing around, joking around, going on for parties, that time is gone. And then when it's time to self introspect, I should have utilized that 1 year better. But
Hmm.
you missed the train. So my request to all the interns or to be interns is 4 years are for you to understand what dentistry is. Internship is where you apply what you understood. So the simple ratio is if you have not understood, you will not be able to apply. If you've understood and you have not applied, knowledge is still half completed. So the best way is to learn thoroughly, apply thoroughly, and imbibe thoroughly.
Sir, suggestions for good courses or fellowship for endo and full mouth rehabilitation courses.
Okay, so again, there are two schools of thought in this. Now, there are people who call themselves microendodontists after attending 2 days of training. Now, there are people who call themselves rehabilitation specialist after attending a weekend program. So, my request to all these people is if I had to become a rehabilitation guy, a makeover guy, I could have done a weekend course. There was no need for me to do MDS prosthodontics, MSc restorative, MS oral implantology to understand how to rehabilitate a case and spend so many years under formal training. But if weekend course could have solved all these problems, everybody would have got the same results with rehabilitation. But that doesn't happen. In spite of everybody working on 32 teeth, why do the results look different? Why does failure occur? Why is there no long-term success? It's because the building is not strong. For the building to be strong, the foundation needs to be strong. For the foundation needs to be strong, the learning has to be staged. So I advise anybody and everybody is to go for a program which is not, number one, of short duration,
Okay.
which is at least 6 months, 1 year, 2 years.
Okay.
Number two, when you have to learn, you need to learn on the things you are going to be imbibing in your practice. And what are you going to imbibe in your practice? Patience. You need to work on patience.
Patience. Yeah.
So any program which is helping you work on patience is the program you should choose.
Okay. Not on the
Because
models or anything.
how many ever models you work on, typhodonts you work on, pig jaws, goat jaws you work on, patient is a living human being.
Yes.
So you need to know what it is to work on a human, whether it is anything. I'm a prosthodontist, so I will talk about rehabilitation, and that was the second part of the question.
Yes.
So you need to rehabilitate a patient in front of your mentor, where your mentor is looking, supervising, giving you tips, making you understand what are the complications which can come in, where can your diagnosis go wrong, where can you modify your treatment plan, what is the steps you need to avoid or you need to incorporate to give you the results you want, rather than doing something on outside the mouth, then trying to imbibe, okay, so when I will do my patient, I will do this, I will do that. That merging will never happen, because again, the time to learn under supervision is gone.
So can you name any institution or anywhere where such courses are being
Okay, so
conducted?
I will not be knowing other programs which are happening, because there are these colleges also which are conducting in their individual
Yes, yes.
capacities or with affiliation to the state. We are conducting programs in collaboration with a university in United Kingdom. So it's an
Okay.
Indo-UK collaboration.
Okay.
We have a 2-year program, which is a postgraduate diploma program in restorative and aesthetic dentistry,
Okay.
2-year postgraduate diploma program in implant dentistry, 1-year postgraduate certificate program in basic implantology, 1-year postgraduate certificate program in advanced implantology.
Okay.
So this is the parameter which I mentioned is what is being implemented in our programs, wherein we are teaching you from as basic as how to take photographs to document a case, because you need that for publications, you need that for presentations, to going right up to rehabilitation. Going
So
to
where
implants,
my
we start
viewers
from
can okay, where my viewers can find the details of these programs.
they can send me a hi, they can send me a hello on any of the social media platforms.
Oh,
I
as
just
easy
put
as
in a
that.
line that they want to know, and they just want details of this program. That's it.
Correct. Correct.
Someone from my team will follow up with them and sort it out.
Next question.
Yes, please.
MDS versus courses or fellowship. The investment which we do in MDS is worth it or not?
Okay, so there was this NEET counseling which was happening, and there were people pouring in messages asking, sir, is it worth paying 10 lakhs a year, 12 lakhs a year, 14 lakhs a year? I said, this is ridiculous amount. If you total have 50 lakhs, put it in a bank, FD for 3 years. The monthly return which you get is enormous for you to run a practice. So what I would suggest people is weigh the pros and cons. Now there are people, let's see the mindset again. There is somebody who loves a subject. That person can think about that subject day and night. Think about doing everything with that subject day and night. Doesn't mind doing only that subject for the rest of his life. That person should only do masters in that subject and masters in that subject in any given college available. because that love for that subject is present. So if the love is present, person will create his niche. He will create a path to reach somewhere, provided love for the subject exists. Now, second category of people. I want to do MDS in any subject available. Means there is no love for the subject. So MDS is done option one because of peer pressure. It is done because friends are doing, family wants to do. I at least want to become MDS, if not BDS.
Yes.
This subject is in demand.
Hmm.
XYZ factors minus the love for the subject. If any of this happens, that growth will always be missing because the passion to do something in that subject is missing. So for such people, option one, firstly try to identify whether you love the subject or not. If you don't love the subject, please don't waste 3 years trying to find love, because that will not happen. Instead, utilize the 2-3 aspects of dentistry which you love and you have an option, either this or that, whichever MDS I get, I will take. Master the subjects, not joining MDS. Learn the nitty-gritties, become better in that, and then become a good practitioner. Option 3, I want to become an academician. I'm not interested in clinical practice. I'm good in teaching. I want to become an academician. Little bit of research I know. For them, please go into MDS because private practice is not meant for you. Courses are not meant for you. Join a college, be an academician, start with a senior lecturer, associate professor, professor HOD. Your life is done. You are sorted. So try to identify which boat you sail in. Once you know which boat you sail in, take the path accordingly.
Okay, great, sir.
But that's important. You need to know which boat you sail in.
Yes.
Otherwise,
that clarity is must.
You move with the wind and then you realize the wind has changed direction. You have nowhere to go.
Correct.
Spending 12 lakhs, 10 lakhs per annum is a waste. You will spend 30 lakhs to learn something which will become obsolete in 3 years. Remember that. What I learned in my MDS days, how much of that am I practicing today in my clinical practice? Less than 10%.
Definitely. And dentist is growing so fast, like each day some new advancement, some new techniques. So
Yes,
we need to
exactly. This is the best time to be in the profession. People who say that dentistry is saturated, there's no scope in dentistry, there's no future in dentistry. If you are on Instagram, you should see my reel. I made a reel where people have spoken XYZ when I joined dentistry and what dentistry gave.
Recently you posted it, na sir? Yeah, I've
Yes,
seen it.
yes.
Yeah.
That was again on public demand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't bother about what people have to say. Hear it from the horse's mouth. I am telling you, this is the best time to be in the profession. The best of materials, the best of technology, the best of techniques. It's the best time to be in the profession. Learn from the best and become the best.
Which branch has good demand in Gulf countries?
I don't know. I would very simply say, if you are good, your skills are good, you will have a demand from anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, as simple as that.
Every country will have their own requirements, entry requirements, registration requirements. So I would suggest find out the requirements of the specific country. But at the end of the day, even if you get registered, you need to exhibit your skills. And that's where you are classified as being talented or not being talented.
Where can we learn good facial aesthetic courses, including hair implants?
Okay, so again, this was a question asked to me yesterday on my Instagram Ask a Question session. So my views are a little different on this. Firstly, as a BDS graduate, I'm talking about myself. Maybe other people would have learned a lot of things. But as a BDS graduate, when I graduated, my knowledge about head, face, neck was limited. which means I cannot deal with any complication which occurs in the head, face, neck region. Number two, I have not done head and neck dissection the way I wanted. Even in my MDS days, even in my MSc days, even in my MS days. So I might know which vessel runs where. But if I inject in a vessel, I do not know how to correct it. If I paralyze a nerve, I don't know how to correct it. If I am injecting, people see what happens is people go for the glamour. Something is rewarding. Something is in the market. As you said, what is in demand? People like such words, but they don't realize if you go right, you might have good days. You might get lucky. Things are okay. Because people again will learn in 2 days, learn in 4 days, learn in a week, and they'll become masters.
It's a new trend. Yes.
Yeah, and they'll become masters. They'll get a certificate by you are a certified injector. Now coming to the basics, what knowledge do you have about the head, face, neck region? How many neck dissections have you done? No idea.
Yeah.
But then what will happen? Ultimately, when there is drooping of the eyelid, how will you correct it? Just pray God, 6 months that patient goes to Himalayas and comes back after 6 months for the next shot of Botox. Then you are sorted. Otherwise, for 6 months, be in a litigation. Because you did not know that complication can occur. And if it did occur, how to reverse it, how to rectify it, there's no training. Now, people talk about hair transplants. That was a question you asked.
Yes.
In our BDS curriculum, how many times did we do anything to the scalp?
Nothing.
And people will learn in 2 days. Many people say that they don't remember what they learned in final BDS, where they learned for 1 whole year. They don't remember what they learned in 1 year. But they will remember about the scalp in 2-day training, in a 4-day training. Oral and maxillofacial surgeons, they have 3 years of doing oncology, 3 years of doing delicate cleft surgeries. They are doing road traffic accidents, rehabilitation, reconstructions. So those guys are in a separate league where they know the anatomy in and out. So if a max-fac surgeon wants to get into facial aesthetics, superb. He deserves to be a facial aesthetician. Barring a max-fac surgeon, anybody in the dentistry profession who has absolutely no head and tail about the scalp, about dissection, about which nerve, which vessel runs where is the fat adipose tissue which you need to inject in, there's no idea at all. Now people try to do micro needling on the face, dermal fashion, etc. There's so many things. But do they know what runs inside? What is beyond the superficial layer of the skin?
Correct.
Did we learn all of this in our BDS curriculum?
Not at all.
But no, get carried away where there is revenue. Remember, if you botch up a case, whatever you have earned, multiply that by 3 times is a compensation. So it's important to have a reality check rather than just get carried away with what the world is doing. DCI is not stupid, who has clearly defined the norms of what comes in a BDS curriculum, what comes in an MDS curriculum, and where comes the MDS oral and maxillofacial surgery curriculum.
I think, sir, now the questions are up. Any message which you want to give to my audience in general, which can boost their confidence, their passion?
My dear, I would like to tell all my friends, I would never say that there's a student-teacher relationship, anybody. It is just by God's grace that I was born a little early. Some of you would be born, some of you would to birth a little late. That's it. That's the only age difference. Otherwise, you guys are as BDS as me. So we are on the same platform. We are just like friends. So what mistakes I did is what I would like to share with you. Remember, always means always. Never be in a hurry to start any work. This I have learned when I was getting my training abroad. Never be in a hurry to start a work, because the basic mindset of everybody is, what if this patient goes to the next clinic? Let me at least start something so patient will give me some money. I have a lot of overheads running on my head. Mindset. I have invested as 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs per year. Now after MDS, people have the pressure to start earning. So wherever they are called, whatever they tell, they'll start the case. No. Don't be in a hurry to start the case. Take your time. Spend adequate time for diagnosis and treatment planning. And then execute the case. Because if you fail, you take 10 patients out of your practice. And if you succeed, that happy patient will bring 100 more people to your practice. I'll give you a very simple example. That example I give for all my lectures. Patient comes to the practice. Everybody will talk to the patient for 5 minutes. That is called greet and meet. They will take the patient on the dental chair. Oh, what is the problem? Oh, this. They will explain. You require 2 fillings for the cavities. You all get your oral profile access done, missing tooth. Then we can get an implant planned. Whatever it is. What is the cost? You will tell the cost. Option A, let's do the work. Option B, okay, once the work is done, then no worries, we can get that done too. What is the next option? Patient will say, okay, fine. What is the cost? I will revert back on this. So in either of these two scenarios, what is the final result? If the patient says cost is not an issue, you will start the work. Correct?
Yes.
You will not realize that in the haste or the hurry to start the patient's work, you have missed out on a lot of chunk on information. Say patient came for a cavity. You found out a cavity. You've done the fillings. Fillings are done. Patient comes the next day and says, I find the filling to be a little high. You will ask the patient, oh, okay, no problem. Patient will come and say filling has fractured. First thing what we will do is we'll blame the patient. What did you eat? Yes, I told you not to eat hard and sticky, etc., etc. Whatever is the blame game, that will also occur. So you'll redo the filling. Patient will come again with a fractured filling, and then you'll wonder what went wrong. Whereas the patient already had a premature contact. There was an interference present, which we did not detect. The filling which was there was already present in a pre-existing interference environment. So it had to fracture. And what will the patient think? I trusted this doctor where I had 300 other options to choose from. And this doctor does a filling which doesn't even last a day. Will that patient ever come back? Will he ever refer a patient? Just for the sake of converting the case, you did not even analyze the occlusal state of the individual. There were wear facets present everywhere, but you did not identify what caused the wear facets. Just because you saw a cavity, you are like a horse. I only want to fill in the cavity and I am done with the case. No. Even a filling requires as much attention, because effectively a filling is on a tooth and the tooth is on a part of the stomatognathic system. If you go and read literature, it is shown even a premature contact, a high point, interference can also cause TM disorders.
Correct.
Which means as small as a filling on as small as a tooth can affect my joint. So how good the planning needs to be to prevent this vicious cycle from occurring. As you said, give something to my participants. I would like to tell that to my friends. Spend adequate time to plan a case. For planning to be good, diagnosis needs to be strong. If your diagnosis is correct, planning is apt, success is more or less guaranteed. Then comes your skills for you to execute what you had planned. And once your work becomes good, better, patience will bring you patience. No marketing needed, no training required, no pamphlets and all are needed. Nothing works, just your skills work. Focus on yourself, focus on your skills. As you see, I'm still in my scrubs. I don't need not work at 11 in the night, but I'm still working because I love my profession. I love dentistry. The day you guys start loving dentistry, you will see the growth which occurs at an exponential way.
Amazing.
You are doing dentistry because you don't know anything else or you want to get a job, government job. The growth is going to be like a government pace only. So what you want in life is what you decide. Where you want to reach, how fast you want to reach, you decide.
Amazing.
So think about yourself, plan for yourself, about yourself.
This has been the fabulous session for me as well, sir. For my viewers who will be watching us on YouTube, for them, definitely. It's a fruitful National Dentist Day celebration, I would say. And
Thank you.
thank you so much, sir, for your time, for your words, for sharing your experience, and by guiding my audience as well. Thank you so much, sir.
Completely my pleasure. Anything for my dental friends at
Hope
any
to
given
see
point
you.
of time.
Hope to see you again on my channel, sir.
Fingers crossed. See you soon. Hopefully minus the mask when we meet in person.
Yeah, right, sir.